In 2016, the Fun Pimps and Telltale Games gathered together to release 7 Days to Die for PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. Over the course of 4 years, the game was a humongous success. It matched the sales of Minecraft Story Mode and the Season 1 of The Walking Dead. I mean, it's a pretty big deal, isn't it?
It was a fight for the ages.
Well, unfortunately, in 2019, the Telltale, which was the only development company who had the rights for the console version of 7 Days to Die, went out of business due to low sales. Because of this, the game has literally received no updates for almost 5 years, even though a significant amount of player base is wondering what actually happened behind the closed doors. Hey everyone, my name is Ruslan, and in this video we're gonna talk about what exactly happened to Telltale Games and what actually happened to 7 Days to Die on console. Before I talk about the core of its issue, I think it's important that we actually touch the base at the very beginning of this game. Basically, in 2016, the Fun Pimps licensed the console publishing rights to Telltale Games, which might sound familiar because you already know they are the face of The Walking Dead as well as the Minecraft Story Mode. Telltale then hired Iron Galaxy to import some of the features from PC version over to the console version with minimal effort from Fun Pimps. After the game's official release on console at the end of June the same year, Iron Galaxy ended up importing a few bug fixes and a major update in 2017 with some extra features from Alpha 15. After this update, a few bugs came. However, Iron Galaxy was completely focused on working on Alpha 16 update, which was aimed to be released sometime around 2019. For most of us, the console updates for 7 Days to Die seem to be going great, but what comes up must go down. Because unknown to them at that time, everything was about to crumble. On 21st of September of 2018, the official Twitter account of Telltale tweeted out saying that they made a difficult decision to close the studio, and that the reason for this, despite receiving positive feedback from the community, was that they weren't making enough money to carry on and produce games. However, when Telltale went under, they brought publishing rights to many games with them, including The Walking Dead, Stranded Deep, and you already know, 7 Days to Die. Now, for all confused people out there, let me explain. Since the Telltale owns the publishing rights for 7 Days to Die when they went down, that meant that the only future update to come was if Telltale themselves came back and picked up the game from where they left off, or for the game's publishing rights to be sold onto some other publishers, which were both unlikely options back at that time. So when people started worrying about the future of 7 Days to Die specifically, Telltale came back, kind of. In 2019, a video game publisher called LCG Entertainment started to buy assets from Telltale from the same shared partners, the company that managed Telltale's properties at the time. In late August that year, LCG announced that they will be doing business as Telltale Games, and that is exactly the reason why you see Telltale to this day, which was aimed to publish the titles Telltale had already acquired. Looking back at it, it's heavily ironic, isn't it? To this day, LCG owns Telltale and everything seems to go well for them. However, during this whole LCG situation, the Fun Pimps were working on something that was supposed to completely change the console situation. In October of 2019, a few weeks after release of Alpha 18 on PC, the Fun Pimps came out with a statement explaining exactly what happened to 7 Days to Die franchise on PS4 and Xbox One. The statement was pretty much saying after a tedious legal process with Sherwood Partners, they reacquired the full publishing rights for 7 Days to Die, which sounded nice and all, but after reading more through this, I just now realize how complicated the whole situation really was. The Fun Pimps went on and said that due to the fact that they're only PC developers and have no clue when it comes to the console world, they would have to spend a lot of money to hire console developers to join their team, and they highly didn't want to take the chance with another company, as all of you already know how that went. Now, that alone was going to cost them a lot of money, plus the millions of dollars that they spent to get publishing rights back, and a few millions they would have to spend to make console support by itself. It becomes obvious that it's a lost cause. They would just spend tons of money and the profit compared to the price will be minimal, and that is exactly why they haven't released anything when it comes to 7 Days to Die on console. Now, since the game is fully released on PC and is no longer in beta, They have stated that they have more time to work on a brand new game behind the closed doors. They haven't announced it just yet, but it will be a full independent product. Whatever it might be, fingers crossed, because the idea of 7 Days to Die on next gen on its own would be pretty cool. They also stated that the game on console is so far behind compared to the PC version that if anything would ever happen with 7 Days to Die on console, they would have to remake the whole game from the very beginning, and it would be just a whole different game. I hope this video explained enough for you to understand the majority of this problem. It turns out that all these companies that managed to bring PC games over to console, man, they spend shit ton of money on this process and we would never know it. I personally think 7 Days to Die had so much potential. There's no other game with the same concept. You know, you gotta grind for 7 days, and then every 7 days there is a blood moon and you gotta protect your base. And since I was getting a lot of questions what actually happened to 7 Days to Die, and I decided to make this video and keep you guys updated. I hope this answered your question. Thanks for watching, and until next time.